Season low 226 yards against a banged-up Dallas defense. So is a QB change on the horizon? Maybe, according to Mike Tomlin. Russ is practicing, but Fields is still prepping as QB1. Nick, do you think the Steelers should make a switch?
No, can we just put up real quick Justin Fields' numbers? Because I understand the Steelers' defense has been excellent. Justin Fields has been perfectly fine.
That's right.
And, those are the numbers. They've won, more than they've lost, if you want to do that side of it. He's been better. Let me put it like this. He has been better than I think you could have reasonably expected him to be through 5 games, as have the Steelers. So why is this a discussion when the alternative is a guy who suffered what we were told was a minor calf strain in July and is practicing fully today? Like maybe a guy whose body is, sorry to infringe on the trademark, betraying him just a bit, bro.
Look, he's been fine. Not perfectly fine. He's been fine.
Okay.
I don't think they should make the quarterback change right now. And maybe you won't make it the rest of the season. But he has not played well enough where there's like, no way I'm not bringing in Russ at some point. Their next 3 games, they got the Raiders, the Jets, and the Giants. 3 winnable games.
Yeah.
If they win, 2 of those games and Justin's okay, you can keep him in. But if they lose those games and lose them because they can't score, because I scoffed when you threw up the numbers because it's kind of like Russ last year.
Except
they're winning, yeah, but they got a better coach and a better defense. Denver's defense last year wasn't that good. It's good this year. But Russ's numbers, I used to throw them up there because the numbers were pretty good. They were actually better, I think, than Justin's. But you watch them, they just can't score.
Correct.
And I don't know if Russ will be better. I'm just saying Justin, if he starts costing them games, or even even if they win these games, but it's like we still can't score more than 16 points. You still might look at Russ at that point.
Yeah, so I don't think that necessarily they should make a quarterback change, but it's like he said, like Tomlin said, the door's got to be ajar. When you can't score what you're talking about, when you can't put the points on the board because you have a good enough defense to where if you just get a lead, the defense is not going to give up enough points. And then you have a guy in Russell Wilson, and I get it. I'm with you on, I don't think he is nowhere near the athlete or the talent at the talent level of a Justin Fields. However, if he can give you some type of spark in your passing game, that's where the struggle has been. And Justin Fields, for all that he is, we haven't even seen the best version of him. Like, he's not running around like he did when he was in Chicago. We don't see that version of Justin Fields. And so
has finally arrived. The number 3 overall pick and savior of the team of the century will finally make his debut against a Texans team that, well, all things considered, maybe we'd think about not starting him against the Texans. Last week they held Josh Allen to a 30% completion rate. Josh Allen's probably better than Eric Mayer at this point. Also hit Josh Allen 9 times. Texans defense this season, that's not very good for a brand new quarterback.
Yeah.
So is Drake doomed in his first start against the Texans?
Okay, so you weren't on our morning meeting today. And when I heard this question, I said to Dusty, our producer, Dusty, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I think this is the worst question we've ever had in a show. And he said Wild specifically requested it.
Yes, that's true.
So then the only reason we talk about this team is because of you.
Right.
And
It's
you
not true.
wanted
The number 3 pick is started.
You must want to cook.
Yeah. So give us your thoughts on Drake May. All right, give us your thoughts on Drake May.
You want me to go before you cook?
Sure. I'm not going to cook. I'm coaching.
You better cook.
Show.
It was your question. This is fine. It's a collision sport. It's tackle football.
Thank you.
And you got the worst offensive line in the league.
Well,
Jacoby Brissett's running for his life. You got no receivers of note to throw. No receivers of note to throw to.
Yeah.
So put him in next week. Put him in the week after. It's going to be the same thing.
Thank you.
I get it that the Texans are a top defense and all that. But still, he's waited long enough. And I actually think this is good because the expectations are low. Like, had you started Drake May at the beginning of the season and he comes out struggling, now fans kind of look, oh, now we got a guy, he's not. Look at Bo Nix, look at Jaden Daniels, look at Caleb Wilson, you know, and so now Brissett's been so bad, expectations are low.
Correct.
They know you don't have pass blocking. So he goes in there, he takes some lumps, but he'll get his experience. I think it's fine.
Thank you. I 100% agree with that. And Greg, I will ask you 2 questions. I would like you to, if you're thinking about leaning like, should I hurt Wild's feelings or not, I would lean towards not. There's 2 major questions that all Patriots fans and Drake May's families are worried about. Number, the offensive line so bad that he's actually going to get hurt, or is he at risk of injury? And that's why Jacoby Brissett was out there, because Jacoby could still, he took a lot of hits, but he can identify stuff that Drake May can't. Drake May popped in the Jets game for a little while and was immediately getting hit. It looked like he was confused. 2, is there a chance that he gets bad habits because he's so nervous about being hit, footwork breaks down, and those bad habits kind of stick with him and his career starts
So those are both
careening
legitimate
away?
concerns, and the answer to both of them are yes. When you think about, he's going to get hit. Like, this offensive line is terrible. But even with the offensive line being terrible, what stands out more than anything is not having the center that you wanted to have if he was going to start in David Andrews. Like, him being out now, obviously a couple weeks ago, getting injured, he has to now set the protection, adjust the protection, like scheme, adjust plays, like all those things. When we heard last week Caleb Williams, center, yell at him when he got something wrong, it's like, will that be the case for Drake May? Those are things that you're going to be concerned about now because it's on his plate. And then just the lack of talent around him.
I don't know about
It's,
that.
yeah.
I'm not willing to go there.
Yeah.
What do you
It's-
mean?
What? You don't think there's a lack of talent?
No, I don't.
Who?
I want to see the guys. I want to see the guys perform. I want to give these guys a chance.
I will add this. Because of his athletic ability and Jacoby Brissett's inability to move, I think he's gonna get hit. But he will be better
He should
suited.
be able to protect himself oddly
question.
better than Jacoby
Yes.
from a escapability standpoint.
Yes.
But he might also put himself in more
Harm's way
jeopardy
because of
than
his
Jacoby
extended
would.
play.
Listen, you know where I stand on this. The Patriots, and I think they've demonstrated through their actions, they were not organizationally ready to draft a quarterback.
That's unfortunate.
And that when the Giants were offering you the 6th pick and their first rounder next year and probably something else small I think they should have done that and taken a lineman or Malik Neighbors, who the Giants took, and be awful this year and do it next year. But they took the kid who I actually said I would have taken second because he's not 190 pounds like Jaden Daniels. So I like Drake May, and I wish him the best. But I just worry about everything around him, and I do think the Patriots have bad weapons, and we know they have bad offensive line. So I wish the kid the best. I think it's going to be really, really
So would you guys?
Yet, here's Bosa on this very segment. Take a listen.
It's a lot of pressure. It's not a must-win because I'm stealing Kyle's team meeting thing because technically your season's over if it's a must-win, but it definitely feels like it, so we're treating it that way.
Correct. It's more of a vibes thing.
He definitely watches.
He gets.
the
He
show.
loves
And it was
Shanahan too.
You said
got it from
he
Shanahan.
said I'm stealing it from Shanahan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my nickname.
You have changed the meaning of must win.
Yeah.
You have.
Oh, what is this?
Good on you.
Hold on, let's spend some time on this graphic.
Okay, it's done.
54 for 74 rating.
Greg Jennings is here.
Who's that?
We'll start with Brew. Brew must win.
Yes, absolutely a must win. Absolutely. They're already 0-2 in the division.
Yeah.
Right? They're 0-3 in the NFC.
Yeah.
This division is going to be tight. Like, there's going to be teams probably with the same record that the tiebreakers will determine who gets into the playoffs.
That's right.
So, yeah, they got, and not to mention the next game, Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, if you lose this, you could be 2-5 like that. All right. So, yeah, it's an absolute must win for the Niners. And even the manner in which they lost the 2 games in the division, blowing fourth quarter leads.
Yeah.
Like, again, like that, they could be 4-1.
Yep.
They've blown it, so they got to go out there and get it done. Must win.
Yeah, you just said it. All the reasons. Number one for me is who they play next. And then who they follow up with the team that they've been beaten up on with the Cowboys. But like, you think about how they've not performed late in games in that second half.